In this video, we're going to talk about the warm outbound mindset and what it means to shift from thinking like a seller to thinking like an advocate. Cold outbound in 2024 is becoming increasingly difficult. Inboxes are flooded, new spam regulations being introduced, and at the end of the day, prospects are really demanding a new experience, one where they can evaluate your products on their own time, at their own pace. And cold outbound today is a lot like convincing prospects to come into your store. We build our account lists, we do our basic research, dive into sales nav, look at 10Ks, and then pulling together our best outreach based off the data points that we have. And once we put that out, that's where we kind of lose visibility. We're not able to see what the prospects who don't respond to us do. Are they engaging with our website? Are they diving into our product? And so that lack of visibility makes cold outbound today really challenging. But what if you could wave a magic wand and you could have visibility into the prospects that were already inside your store? Imagine you could see someone checking out your most expensive product. You could watch them, you could observe them, and you can see how this new paradigm would allow you to engage with them in a completely different way. And that's the concept we're talking about with warm outbound. So with warm outbound, you can think about your website and product as your store. You can see everything that prospects are browsing, whether they're diving into your tech docs, check out your solutions pages, your case studies, blog articles, engage with specific features within the product. You have full visibility and you can engage in a value-added way based off their actions. Let's take a real scenario here. So again, this is all about shifting from thinking like a salesperson to thinking like an advocate and supporting them along their journey. Let's start with the user signup. Now, what we found in our data is that oftentimes a user signup can actually be too early in the journey. This can be someone who's just kicking the tires on the product, looking to explore a little bit, but they're not quite at that stage where they might be ready to engage with the salesperson. But what if that user started diving into your SSO docs? And then what if they started looking at your more complex features like auto outbound? And so one example that we've seen is that oftentimes with the Koala platform is after maybe a couple months, we start to see people get a little bit more comfortable with the data, and then they're ready to dive into auto outbound. At that moment, when we can see them trying to set up an auto outbound sequence, that's an example of a really great moment to jump in as an advocate and see if they need any help getting that set up. And so warm outbound is all about earning the right to have a sales conversation. We want to think about how we can deliver value through the entire buyer journey. And Dee, who's a global head of CX at Miro, touches on it so well here. She says, instead of jumping on a call, for instance, they wanted fast access to information when they needed it, or better yet, be intuitively presented with that information at the exact moment they need it.